Hello, my sugary friends. It's your pal, Chef Mitchie. Let's make some edible candles and chalk. First, you are going to need some milkshake straws. Make sure that they are nice and sturdy, that they're not too bendy. You're also going to need a funnel. I prefer this little metal one. I have a link in my Amazon shop if you want to snag some for yourselves. And then you're going to need a precision cutting knife and some scissors. I'm going to show you how to use both of those. Some Scotch tape, a bowl, because you're going to put some of these sprinkles in it, and I'll show you why in a minute. Melted chocolate, of course. Make sure that it's nice and fluid. Pour your sprinks into that bowl. This is actually going to help our straws stand up nice and straight. There's two ways that you can cut through these straws, either with your scissors or the precision cutting knife. You're going to take some Scotch tape and seal up that seam that you just cut. But you're making sure that at the very bottom, you're covering that nice and tight so that your chocolate does not leak out. You can also not do a slit on the side if you're feeling confident with this method. I'm going to show you both ways to fill your straws and how to empty them. All right, so now we got them nice and standing. I'm going to show you the funnel method first. This one takes a little bit of time. It's wiggle, 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 and then I use a little brush to get the rest of it in there, tap down the excess to make sure we get it to the bottom. Or you can fill up a squeeze bottle and fill your straws this way. Now, the only problem with this method is that sometimes air will get into there, so that's why you do want to take that straw out and tap it on your counter. Then we're going to place them into a cooler or freezer. I love this little one of mine, for about 10-15 minutes. Here I'm rolling out some fondant so I can show you how to use edible chalk. So I'm skipping a step for just a moment. I store my edible chalk with some 50/50 confectioner's cornstarch mix and just keep it in an airtight container. Normally, the writing looks much better on fondant that has had time to set up. On fresh fondant, it can be a little bit iffy, but it doesn't drag. It's really cool. So now I'm just going to reball this up and show you how to get your candles prepped. Very thin fondant, and you want to make some nice thin strips. Keep them on your cutting board, and then you can store them under your work mat. Just make sure you put like a little reminder mark of where they are so you don't squish them. Now let's make some candle flames. You're going to need some gum paste, some edible markers, some wooden cocktail sticks. Break off your gum paste into small pea-size portions, and then you're going to taper just one end. I like to make mine look a little whimsical. Attach it to your wooden cocktail stick. At this point, I would not add any edible glue because I am going to remove it. Making your flame is really fun. You'll start with some red and then some orange and then color the rest of it in yellow. Remember, this is for the cartoon cake, so you do not need to do a 360. Then I'll go through and drag that orange and red with a little bit of the yellow, just so that it looks a little more blended. Black edible marker to outline the sides and bottom to make it look like it's a cartoon. Set it aside to dry, and then let's get working on our candles. We'll start with the one with the seam. This is the simplest method because it pops right out. You may have a seam on there. You can easily rub it off with your fingers or just with a precision cutting knife. Now, the other candles take a little bit more muscle to push out. You'll remove that tape from the bottom. Remember what I said about the air pockets? You may get one of those in there, so this is really funny. I use the backside of a paintbrush to push the chocolate out. If your hands are too slickery, just grab a little grip mat and that'll help you pop her on out. Look at it, it looks like a whistle. All right, let's assemble our candle. So I'm going to take a little bit of edible glue and lightly pepper it onto one of those stripes. And then on a diagonal, just roll it on up. And you might need to add a little more glue to secure the bottom. I do add a little bit of cornstarch mix to it just to sop up any edible glue that is overflown. And then this is a trick that I learned from being on competitive television. have a bowl of ice or a bottle of cold water on the side for you to cool down your hands so you don't melt your chocolate. And then as you can see, I'm just taking the edible marker and I'm outlining the stripes and the side. Now I'm going to attach our flame one of two ways. You can heat up the chocolate a bit, or you can use edible glue. I am going to do the chocolate, so I've got some freeze spray. So I'm just going to lightly pass my torch through here. And then I will remove my flame from the cocktail stick, place it atop the candle, give it a quick spritz, and then I'm going to highlight the chocolate drips with my edible marker. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial, and I can't wait to see what you create. Toodaloo for now.